After converting sunlight into electricity, how do we store and convert electricity into storable energy from a solar array? Since we cannot simply use solar energy directly from the solar array for household appliances, we have to put it through a long process across three components: the MPPT, the battery, and the inverter. We can maximize power into the battery using an MPPT, store and convert solar energy into chemical energy using a battery through chemical reactions, and convert the battery's DC into AC using an inverter.
Now, let's answer the following question. Why not connect the solar panel directly into the battery? In a nutshell, there are two reasons why: to avoid overcharge and to maximize power from the solar panel into the battery while taking into account the battery's voltage. If we want the battery to receive most, if not all, of the power from the solar panels, we must use a device that will regulate both voltage and current. We do not want to lose power. In order to solve this, we will be using an MPPT, short for the Maximum Power Point Tracker. Its role is simple. The MPPT converts higher voltage output from solar panels down to the lower voltage needed to charge batteries while maximizing current and power conversion. For example, if the solar panel is outputting 144 watts with 8 amps at 18 volts and the battery only allows 12 volts, the MPPT will make sure the battery receives the maximum power while maintaining max current and voltage for the battery. Thus, the MPPT can convert it down to 12 amps at 12 volts. This graph showcases this relationship, where the maximum power point occurs right before the current drop. An MPPT is analogous to a thumb blocking a garden hose, where the water is the current and the speed at which water is flowing through the hole is the voltage. If a human were to cover a portion of the end with their thumb, less volume of water would be flowing out, but with more speed and distance. If the garden hose was entirely open, lots of water would be flowing, but you would lose distance. In our case, the thumb would be the MPPT. It changes the voltage and current suitable for a battery while maintaining max power from the solar panel.
After the MPPT outputs energy, we must store the solar energy for later use in the form of chemical energy using a battery. Explaining why we store the energy is easy, but answering how is more difficult. In order to understand how to charge a battery, we must first learn how batteries, specifically lead-acid batteries, discharge energy. A battery works by storing energy in chemical bonds, then releasing it when it is connected to a circuit. In a lead-acid battery, sulfuric acid reacts with lead dioxide and lead in the positive cathode and negative anode terminals respectively, creating lead sulfate and water. Additionally, on the anode terminal, electrons are produced, which is used to create electrical energy when connected to a circuit. To recharge the battery, the chemical reaction is reversed. Electricity would be supplied to the battery from an external power source, storing energy in the bonds of the molecules. This process is what occurs right after the MPPT outputs energy into the battery. If you want to learn more about this reaction, check the link in the description. Even though some batteries can be recharged, that doesn't mean they will last forever. Over time, the lead sulfate gets stuck to the lead plates, slowing and eventually preventing the reaction from occurring, at which point the battery is dead.
Now that we stored the energy in a battery, we have one more step to complete before we can access our power. Batteries have very low DC, direct current power, which can't provide enough energy to power most electronics. What is needed is AC, alternating current, power, which works well in high voltage. To understand how an inverter works, you first have to know the fundamental difference between DC and AC electricity. In DC electricity, the electrons travel along a circuit like an unbroken electrical loop. In AC electricity, instead of traveling along a circuit, the electrons switch directions 50 to 60 times per second. It also raises the voltage to 120 volts with a transformer to match the standard electrical outlet in our homes. This shuffle back and forth is what creates the power.
While one could theoretically use energy straight from a solar panel, they would have a harder time when variables such as storage and power efficiency are taken into account. In conclusion, if one wanted solar energy to be stored and converted efficiently, they would have to use the three components: the MPPT, battery, and inverter. Altogether would serve the need for solar panels to be used effectively in today's world.